I don't believe there's such a thing as having too much money. I don't think a person can have too much money. I don't believe such a thing exists. What I do believe exists is not having high enough of a financial IQ to manage your money. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. Today, I want to talk about silver and how much silver is enough silver for your financial preparations. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today I wanted to talk about how much silver is enough. And I know right off the bat, many of you are probably thinking right now,
there's no such thing as having enough silver.
And I would have to agree with that. But I want to talk about this today, and I'm going to spin it in a direction that I think a lot of people will be able to understand and align with. Now, before I even can talk about how much silver is enough silver or how much silver is too much silver, I want to talk about something pretty interesting because I finally was just able to order some brand new silver. Quick little backstory, years and years and years ago, I got my oldest credit card because I wanted to start building my credit. It was a secured card because it could be kind of difficult to get a credit card when you don't have any credit. So I put a security deposit down on a credit card, which they would use and hold as collateral if I, for whatever reason, wanted to be irresponsible and not make my payments. They would use my security deposit to pay it off. That never needed to happen, and here we are years and years and years later, and I just found out that my security deposit was returned to me, and the secured card has now been graduated to an unsecured card. And now I have a negative balance on the card, which means I got a little bit of cash to spend. So what I just decided to do was pick up a new little piece of silver to reward myself. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I got. I'd rather keep it to myself, so the unboxing can be a little bit of a surprise, but it may or may not rhyme with Maztec Ballander.
Look at it.
Moving forward, I want to talk about how much silver is too much silver or how much silver is enough silver. This is a question that I've been asked time and time again during my going on 3 years of stacking silver and making YouTube videos about it. So the first thing I want to say is that it really depends on your financial situation. Now, odds are, if you have an ultimate goal for yourself to hit in reference to how much silver and gold you want to have in order to feel content or secure or whatever the case may be, we all have a goal. We all have an ideal amount of silver that we want to work towards, and little by little we're hacking away at it. However, once you eventually hit that goal, whether it be in your first year or your first 5 years or your first 15 years of stacking, once you hit that goal, let's be honest, you're probably not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. We're probably going to continue stacking. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's really such a thing as having too much silver or enough silver or whatever the case may be. But your goal, how much silver you're really trying to work towards, I think that would probably vary person to person to person. I think it really depends on your living situation, your income, your monthly expenses, how many people you're financially preparing for. Because fact of the matter is, stacking silver, yes, it's a hobby. Yes, it's something fun to do, but it's also financial preparation. And in my opinion and from my perspective, it's something that we don't just like to do. It's not just something that we want to do. In my opinion, it's something that we need to do. Or something that I feel like I need to do anyway. So, once you figure out how much money you want set aside in the event of a financial emergency, let's just say, you got to figure out how much cash it would take to stay afloat. You got to figure out how much cash you want set aside. How many months worth of expenses, worth of cash do you want stashed away, just in case? Now, a normal person will probably tell you 1 to 2 months. A lot of people in the financial preparation world will probably tell you 3 or more months. I would say anywhere between 3 and 6 months is a pretty solid start. But once you figure out how much cash you want stashed aside, that's probably roughly how much silver you're going to want as well. If you want, let's just say $5,000 in cash stashed away, I would probably say, now this sounds very weird to say out loud, but it would probably be a good target to say $5,000 worth of silver you're going to be working towards as well, even if it's just $100, $200, $500 worth at a time. Now, the reason I say that sounds strange to say is because I don't like measuring my silver in dollars. All this silver right here in front of me, I don't like saying it's a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s worth of silver. That's not really how my mind thinks. I don't think it should be measured in dollars. I think it should be measured in ounces. That's how wealth is measured. But when you're first starting out, it should give you a rough idea. $5,000 worth of silver. Not to mention, let's just say you get $5,000 worth of silver. On Tuesday, it could be worth $4,900, or it could be worth $5,200. It fluctuates. It always has fluctuated, it always will fluctuate, and it's going to continue to fluctuate. It's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down pretty much forever. However, that is a pretty good way to start out, in my opinion and from my perspective. A dollar amount, figure out how many ounces that would approximately equate to, and then start chipping away at it. And then when you hit that target, you're probably going to want to raise the bar. Okay, $5,000 worth. Let's go for $10,000 now. And it keeps you busy, it keeps you occupied, it keeps you consistent. You got a little bit of cash set aside, maybe 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses just to make sure your bills are taken care of. You're able to buy food, not to say that you shouldn't be stocking up on long shelf life food to begin with, but the point I'm trying to get across is you'll have enough cash, currency, fiat set aside to stay afloat. And you also have some money stacked up alongside the currency just in case as well. I always say the dollar bills, the fiat glorified IOU piece of paper dollars, excellent for the short term. Silver and gold, excellent for the long term. I think you should be preparing yourself for short term financial hardships, along with long-term economic disasters. I think that they are equally important. So like I said, it's going to vary person to person to person to person. Somebody who lives in a one-bedroom apartment by himself or by herself, they don't even have a car, they bike to work every day, they don't have kids, they probably have far less overhead, and it would take far less cash to stay afloat than, let's just say, someone who just moved into a $250,000 house and they also drive a pretty nice car. Maybe the car's not paid off just yet. Maybe they have a wife or husband and 3, 4, 5 kids running around. That person has to be way more financially prepared than the one-bedroom apartment, no car, virtually no bills other than rent, food, phone, insurance, whatever else they have to take care of. They're just taking care of themselves. That other person of the example has to take care of 3, 4, 5, 6 people. So the point I'm trying to get across is how much cash you want saved up and how much silver you want stacked up to keep yourself afloat. It's going to vary person to person. There's no straight answer. Now, some people will say that there is such a thing as having too much money or having too much cash or you earn too much. Or that's not something that I've ever been able to align with. I don't think that those words should ever really go together. When people say too much money, I do not think that that's even a possibility. I don't agree with that. Now, just take a quick little look at Justin Bieber. What was Justin Bieber doing 5-10 years ago? He was in the news practically every single day. He was always getting himself in trouble. Everyone was saying,
Look at this young kid. He's making too much money. If I was making that kind of money, I would be financially responsible with it. I would be buying cheaper cars, and I'd be drinking cheaper alcohol.
What'd you say?
a lot of people were looking at him or looking at these top dog celebrities or these business owners, these CEOs, the top 1%ers. People look at these guys or girls and say that they have too much money. That's not something I've ever agreed with. I don't believe in criticizing someone else's success. And I also don't agree with the fact that anyone in the world can have too much money. I don't think there's such a thing. Point I'm trying to get across is once you take a look at your financial situation and your living situation, once you figure out how much cash you are able to set aside every single month due to your income minus your bills, food, rent, mortgage, car, phone, whatever else you have to take care of, your income minus your expenses equals what you have left over. And that amount of cash that's left over, you can go and figure out how much of it you want to keep as cash, how much of it you want to spend foolishly, like an obsessive consumer would do, or how much of it you want to maybe invest to produce a little bit of cash flow, how much you want to convert into a precious metal like the silver and the gold for long-term wealth preservation purposes. And you can go from there. Maybe you want to do 50-50. You want to save half of it as cash and convert the other half into some silver until you have enough cash stored up to cover 3 to 6 months worth of expenses if something were to go wrong financially. And from that point moving forward, maybe instead of going 50-50 on cash and silver, maybe at that point you can choose to go 100% on silver and gold if you want. 100% on the precious metals. You have no real need to continue adding to the fiat stack, the stack of papers. You don't need to anymore. You already have months and months and months worth stored up. And you realize that if all you're doing is saving cash simply for the fact of saving cash, just in case, that over time, all it really does is depreciate in value. So I do believe it's important to have some cash on hand, just in case, but I think it's also important to know when to stop. You see, when it comes to fiat saved up in the event of an emergency, I do believe that there can be a limit on that. I do believe you can get to a point where you say, okay, that's enough currency. I've stacked enough currency. This right here, it's enough currency. But when it comes to money, I don't think you can have enough. So once you reach that point, when it comes to the dollar bills, if you choose to, you can discontinue the fiat stacking and focus most or all of your attention on the silver and the gold. I'm curious, everyone watching this video right now, what are your thoughts on everything that I shared today so far? And I also want to say, back to the example I gave a little bit earlier, when I mentioned good old Justin Bieber. When a lot of people looked at him and said that he had too much money, I don't believe there's such a thing as having too much money. I don't think a person can have too much money. I don't believe such a thing exists. What I do believe exists is not having high enough of a financial IQ to manage your money. That's the actual issue people had when they see this young rich guy getting in all types of trouble. When they say he had too much money, that's not what they actually meant. What they actually meant to say was that maybe he's not smart enough or mature enough to manage his money properly. But I'm just an average Joe sitting on the sidelines. I have no idea how or what Justin Bieber does with his money. To be honest with you, I really don't care. I just thought it was a pretty good example. So I'm very curious, everybody watching this video right now, if you can head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic regarding when enough is enough or having too much of the money, aka too much of the precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller, easier to manage. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a bunch of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of the YouTube videos commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,500, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, do you think that there's such a thing as having too much money? Do you think that there is such a thing as having enough money? Enough silver and gold stacked up? You all know my opinion. My opinion doesn't have to be declared a fact. You might have a different opinion. You might agree with what I said in today's video. You might disagree with what I said in today's video. The good news is you don't have to agree with what I said in today's video. Everything that I shared is in my opinion and from my perspective. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy with a camera, so this is not financial advice. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, but it's also to initiate a conversation. So I'm hoping that something that I said in today's video can spark a discussion in the comment section down below. I'm curious, what are your thoughts regarding everything and anything that I shared in today's video? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.